A love torn apart, wedged between Xander and Sarah on Days of Our Lives in Salem. Love is rarely simple, and these days it's downright tragic. At the center of the latest storm stands the once passionate and resilient marriage of Xander Cook and Sarah Horton. Their union, once celebrated as one of the soap's most unlikely yet heartfelt love stories, is unraveling before our eyes, and all roads point to one man, Philip Kiriakis. The cracks in Xander and Sarah's relationship have grown into deep chasms too wide to be bridged by even the most heartfelt apologies. The heartbreaking truth? Their love may not survive what's coming next, and it all began with Philip's return and the emotional havoc he's wrought. Betrayal in broad daylight. It was bad enough that Sarah kept secrets. Worse still, she did so not for herself, but for Philip. Every lie she told Xander, every truth she concealed, she did under the belief that she was protecting the man she loved. But intentions, however noble, don't always lead to happy endings. As the saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Sarah believed she was shielding Xander from further turmoil. She saw Philip vulnerable and in crisis and made a choice, a fateful one, to stand by him. Her heart told her she was doing right, but her actions told a very different story. Every morning she woke beside Xander, knowing the secrets she held could tear them apart. And now it seems they just might. Xander, for his part, is no saint. He's a man whose temper can flare as fast as his fists, and when he found out about Sarah's deception and Philip's involvement, he snapped. In a moment of raw rage and betrayal, he beat Philip within an inch of his life and left him for dead. It was violent. It was impulsive. It was unmistakably Xander. Sarah, horrified by Xander's brutality, now finds herself at an impossible crossroads. Her loyalty is torn between the man she loves and the man she tried to save. The trust they once shared lies shattered on the floor of their home. And she's not willing to let Xander off easily. She's angry, hurt, and feeling betrayed in return. She believes she acted out of love. Xander sees it as a betrayal of the deepest kind. The question of justice: will Philip press charges? The town now waits on edge to see what Philip will do next. Will he press charges against Xander for the beating he suffered? Kate Roberts, ever the fiercely protective mother, is pushing hard for justice. She wants her son to fight back, to make Xander pay for what he did. And the case would be clear-cut. There are injuries, there is motive, and there are witnesses. But Philip isn't as certain. Underneath the bandages and bruises is a man deeply conflicted. In a strange, twisted way, he understands Xander's rage. Perhaps even believes he deserved it. After all, Philip's actions have caused pain too. And not just to Xander, but to Sarah as well. He inserted himself into a marriage, manipulated feelings, and stirred the pot until everything boiled over. Despite his physical injuries, Philip may choose not to press charges. Not out of fear, but out of something far more complicated: brotherly love. Yes, you read that right. Despite the bad blood, despite the fists and fury, Philip still wants a relationship with Xander. There's a part of him that misses the bond they once had or could have had as brothers. And perhaps this brutal confrontation is what he needed to see just how deep their emotional wounds run. A family in mourning, the death of Bo Brady. As if the situation weren't already emotionally charged, tragedy has struck the Kiriakis Brady family again. Bo Brady, beloved brother and steadfast figure in their lives, has died. The weight of his loss hangs heavily in the air, acting as both a reminder of life's fragility and the family ties that bind, even when those ties are frayed and tattered. The death of Bo may be the one thing that can cool the flames of this feud. It offers a moment of reflection, a pause in the storm, and perhaps an opportunity for healing. For all their differences, Xander and Philip are bonded by blood. And in times of mourning, even the most bitter enemies can find common ground. Could Bo's passing be the turning point? Could it convince Philip to forgive and Xander to let go of his rage? Possibly. But even if it does, the damage to Xander and Sarah's marriage may be beyond repair. A marriage on life support right now. Sarah is not looking at Xander with the eyes of love. She's looking at him with fear and disappointment. And Xander, full of pride and wounded honor, cannot easily forgive her duplicity. Their home, once filled with laughter and promise, is now a battleground of accusations, silence, and emotional distance. They may try to make it work. They may attend therapy, make grand gestures, whisper vows of recommitment. But love, once cracked, rarely returns to its former shape. And as long as Philip remains a part of their story, the tension will never fully disappear. Xander may never forget that Sarah chose to protect another man over him. And Sarah may never forget the monster she saw when Xander raised his fists in violence. These are not small wounds. These are the kinds of betrayals that echo for a lifetime. The road ahead as Days of Our Lives continues its captivating journey through the tangled lives of Salem's residents. One thing is heartbreakingly clear: Xander and Sarah's marriage is hanging by a thread. And at the center of it all is Philip. The man who, whether intentionally or not, brought this house of cards crashing down. Whether he presses charges or not, whether Xander forgives or rages on, the fact remains that things will never be the same. Philip didn't just come back to Salem, he came back and ignited a fuse that may destroy everything Xander and Sarah once built. Only time will tell if their love can survive the fallout. But for now, in the aftermath of betrayal, violence, and heartbreak, it looks like the end may be near. A mother's fury and a family torn apart, the dramatic clash on Days of Our Lives in the heart of Salem, where secrets simmer and betrayals run deep. The latest episodes of Days of Our Lives have delivered a gut-wrenching saga that has left fans on the edge of their seats. At the center of this storm is Kate Roberts, Lauren Koslow, a fierce and protective mother whose world is shattered when her beloved son, Philip Kiriakis, Jean-Paul Lavoisier, is brutally attacked by his own brother, Xander Cook Kiriakis, Paul Telfer. The question on everyone's mind is whether Kate will unleash her formidable resolve to see Xander charged with attempted murder, or if deeper family secrets and tangled loyalties will complicate her quest for justice. This gripping storyline weaves together themes of vengeance, redemption, and the high stakes of family ties, set against the backdrop of corporate intrigue and life-or-death decisions. A brutal attack and a mother's heartbreak. The drama unfolds in a chilling scene that has become the talk of Salem. Philip Kiriakis, once a charismatic figure in the Kiriakis family, lies crumpled on the floor, his body battered and bloodied from a vicious assault. The attacker? None other than his half-brother, Xander, whose rage-fueled fists and relentless kicks leave Philip clinging to life. The hospital reports are grim. Internal bleeding, multiple organ failure, and a litany of bruises paint a picture of a man who barely escaped death. Witnesses recount Xander's chilling words to Philip during the attack: "Nothing's going to save you." For those familiar with Xander's dark past as a killer for hire, these words carry the weight of a death sentence narrowly avoided. Kate Roberts, a woman known for her unyielding love for her children, arrives at the scene to find her son broken and barely conscious. Her heart shatters as she kneels beside him, her hands trembling as she brushes his blood-streaked hair. For Kate, this is not just an attack, it's a declaration of war. She immediately points the finger at Xander, telling the Salem Police Department that she believes he intended to kill Philip. Her accusation is not without merit. Xander's knuckles, bruised and bloodied, tell a story of violence, and his history of ruthless behavior makes him a prime suspect. Yet, in a frustrating twist, the police question Xander only to release him, citing insufficient evidence. For Kate, this is a betrayal of justice, and her resolve to protect Philip hardens into a steely determination to see Xander pay. The motive: a stolen drug and corporate betrayal. To understand the ferocity of Xander's attack, we must delve into the motives that drove him to such extremes. At the heart of this conflict lies the Versix drug, a revolutionary medication developed at University Hospital which holds the promise of saving lives, including that of Xander's brother, Beau Brady, Peter Reckel, who is battling a life-threatening condition. Philip, in a desperate bid to prove himself and regain Xander's trust, stole a dose of Versix, believing it would secure Beau's survival and mend their fractured relationship. But his plan backfired spectacularly. Xander, already a volatile figure, saw Philip's theft as a double betrayal. Not only did Philip jeopardize Beau's life by mishandling the drug, but his actions also threatened Titan Industries, the Kiriakis family's corporate empire. Titan had recently acquired University Hospital, banking on Versix to boost its profits and solidify its dominance in the pharmaceutical world. Philip's reckless move, however, endangered this lucrative deal, putting millions of dollars and the family's legacy at risk. For Xander, this was an unforgivable offense, and his response was swift and brutal. In a moment of unchecked fury, Xander confronted Philip, his fists delivering a punishment that went far beyond brotherly discipline. As Philip fell to the ground, Xander's kicks were relentless, each one fueled by a mix of personal betrayal and corporate sabotage. Philip's intentions may have been noble. He wanted to save Beau and win back Xander's approval, but his actions unleashed a firestorm that left him fighting for his life. Kate's quest for justice. For Kate, the sight of her son in a hospital bed, hooked up to machines and teetering on the edge of survival, is a call to action. Known for her fierce maternal instincts, Kate is no stranger to fighting for her children, whether through cunning, manipulation, or sheer willpower. In the hospital, as she holds Philip's hand and watches his chest rise and fall with the help of a ventilator, her grief transforms into a burning need for justice. She vows to ensure that Xander faces the full weight of the law for what she believes was an attempt on Philip's life. Kate's case against Xander seems strong. The physical evidence is compelling. Xander's bruised knuckles could yield DNA that matches traces found in Philip's wounds. Such evidence could be the key to securing an attempted murder charge, a crime that could send Xander to Statesville prison for years. Kate urges the police to pursue this lead, her voice steady but laced with the raw emotion of a mother protecting her child. Yet, the police's reluctance to act, releasing Xander after a brief interrogation, only fuels her frustration. She knows that in Salem, justice is often elusive, and she may need to take matters into her own hands. A complicated web of loyalty and crime as Kate pushes for Xander's arrest, the storyline takes a darker turn, revealing the complex web of secrets that binds the Kiriakis family. Philip, despite being the victim, is not without his own sins. Encouraged by the cunning Vivian Alamain, Louise Sorrell, Philip has been entangled in a series of crimes, fraud, forgery, and perjury that could land him in Statesville alongside Xander. His theft of the Versix drug was just one piece of a larger scheme, and his actions have drawn the attention of the Salem Police Department. If Philip wakes from his critical condition, he may face a warrant for his arrest, a fact that complicates Kate's quest for justice. Adding to the drama, several key figures in Salem are complicit in Philip's crimes. Stephanie Johnson, Abigail Klein, Alex, Sarah, and Maggie Horton Kiriakis, Suzanne Rogers have all kept quiet, helping to cover up Philip's misdeeds. Their silence makes them accessories after the fact, and their testimony could either save or doom Philip if his case goes to trial. Kate, aware of her son's precarious legal situation, faces a heart-wrenching dilemma. Pushing for Xander's prosecution could expose Philip's crimes, putting him at risk of imprisonment. Xander's pain and a family fractured while Kate fights for her son. Xander grapples with his own turmoil. The attack on Philip has cost him dearly, both emotionally and personally. Forced to leave the Kiriakis family home, Xander bids a painful farewell to his daughter, Victoria, the one person he claims to care about above all else. In a moment of raw bitterness, he lashes out at his wife, Sarah, accusing her of betrayal and declaring their relationship over. For Xander, the loss of his family and the weight of his actions create a storm of guilt and anger, yet his pride prevents him from seeking forgiveness. Xander's past as a killer for hire haunts him, and his bruised knuckles serve as a stark reminder of the violence he's capable of. Yet, he remains defiant, insisting that Philip's betrayal justified his actions. As he walks away from the Kiriakis mansion, his parting words to Sarah are laced with venom, signaling a fracture in the family that may never heal. Will Philip betray Xander? The drama reaches a fever pitch as fans await Philip's recovery. If he wakes, will he point a trembling finger at Xander, confirming Kate's accusations and setting the stage for a dramatic courtroom showdown? Or will he hesitate, knowing that pressing charges could expose his own crimes and drag his allies, Stephanie, Alex, Sarah, and Maggie, into the legal crossfire? Philip's relationship with his mother is also strained. Kate's thirst for vengeance could put him in jeopardy, and he may resist her efforts to pursue Xander's prosecution. For Kate, the path forward is fraught with challenges. Her love for Philip drives her to seek justice, but the tangled web of family secrets and corporate intrigue threatens to unravel everything she holds dear. In Salem, where loyalties shift and truths are buried, Kate's quest for justice could come at a steep price. A story of vengeance and redemption as Days of Our Lives continues to unfold. The clash between Kate, Philip, and Xander promises to deliver more twists and turns. Will Kate succeed in holding Xander accountable, or will Philip's secrets derail her efforts? Can the Kiriakis family find a way to heal, or will their betrayals tear them apart forever? For now, Salem waits with bated breath, as a mother's love and a brother's rage collide in a story that is as heartbreaking as it is thrilling.